What is happening, y'all? This is Gabe, Junction Auto Salon. We are here with another episode in the Dirt series where we go over various detailing, paint correction, and ceramic coating steps in real time, unedited, uncut, so y'all can see exactly how long this takes. My name is Gabe. I'm wearing a camera on my head. That's a microphone. Sound quality is okay, I guess. I probably just need to talk louder most of the time. But for today's episode, we are going to do a one-step paint enhancement to this quarter panel on this Mustang and see just how we fare with it. So follow along. We will go over the struggle spots, which for me is always here, there, and there, and here. Basically lower spots that's just hard for me to properly angle a polisher into, but we manage somehow. So we'll do just the initial check. If y'all watched the initial inspection video, you know that this car has some water spotting issues, some medium to or moderate to medium swirls. That is still the case. I've already done the complete top side. Both front fenders have been done. I just need to do the quarters on the rear quarter on both sides, both doors, rear bumper, front bumper, and she's done and ready to be wiped and coated. So let's get started on this little guy. So we're using Lake Country HDO blue cutting foam pad and KCX or Kosh Kimi fine, it's like a medium cut polish. So we're gonna start by just wiping off any kind of dust. I would like to reintroduce as little as possible into this poor abused car. So we'll get this kind of dabbed around in here, and y'all can follow along with me on how I polish the side of Mustangs. So I usually break this quarter panel up into two sections, right about here at the top of the fender well. So I'll do this entire spot all the way to the trunk line and then come down here as best I can. I'll follow this up again with a 3-inch because that's just easier when I do the rear bumper, but you can see the quarter by itself. Like always, I'm just trying to manage the rotation of the machine and make sure it's still doing its job. Trying to hold it as flat as I can. Sometimes holding it flat is not really an option, especially when you get into some of these corners. On this car that just 2 or 3 passes has done plenty. You could absolutely take this correction a lot further, but that is not what the customer is saying. So here we're just digging into this body line. About it or slow. Sometimes you might have to angle the machine up. Seems like how I edge down toward the bottom. Again, I'm just trying to manage full rotation. I'm just trying to manage full rotation of the machine. Orbital and circular rotation. Another body line here to kind of chop into, scallop into. Alright, so now we can wipe this off, check our work. I do want to just do a manual check of the pad temperature. Pad temperature is good. Let's see. So it's a decent polish to work with. Generally wipes off pretty clean. It's non-marking, so I don't really have to worry about taping a bunch of stuff off on this car. If we were doing heavier compound, I would mark it off, but usually before I coat these cars with the one step, I'll go over all the trim with the with CarPro Eraser and hit it with that just to get them finally cleaned off. But this polish generally doesn't leave anything behind. So just a quick look, we can see this side is still water spotted up, and then it all starts to clear out on this side, which was, here, let me see if I can show you all that again. This side bad, move over here, this side is good. So I'm not really sure how, I'm not really sure how much of this y'all can see. So it looks like there was an area right here in this dip where, ooh, lunch is talking back, where this kind of didn't do the same as it did over here, which is not abnormal, but I can use a 3-inch polisher. Bumper did pretty well. Maybe 1 or 2 spots to touch up with the 3-inch. Once I do the actual back of the rear bumper, I can bring it back around on this side, but this up here is pretty good. So let's move on to this section over here. Now I'm not gonna blow the pad out because I had done that before I started this section, and I usually just do the 2 sections at a time for making sure that this pad is clean. I don't know if y'all can see that, but the pad is picking some gunk and some buildup off of the car, which can hinder correction at points, and I just have to choose what I'm okay with and what I'm not okay with as far as what corrects out and what doesn't. But it is scrubbing the paint clean basically to get it ready for a ceramic coating. So just dab this around. I can. I'm just doing my best to hold this polisher against the car and letting it do its thing. I will fight these all day and still lose this battle. Cut, gallop into this body line. Part of the car is pretty chewed up from just regular daily driving, track use, not abnormal. For this part of the car to be pretty bad. Another one of those body lines that I'm not terribly good at using. Alright, again, just a manual check of the pad. You can see, I don't know if y'all can really see in the camera, that it's collecting some junk off the side of the car. It's just causing all this brown buildup. There are quite a few water spots. Water spots are kind of like bowls. They hold on to contamination, and you have to remove what's out of that bowl or level the entire thing out to get it removed. And that's kind of what's happening here. So whatever's inside those water spots is now on this pad, and it's causing it to kind of glaze over. So at this point, you are starting to lose cut and polish with this pad, or whatever you're trying to accomplish. You need to, before I move on to this door, I will need to take this over to the blower and blow this out. Or I can use the pad brush to brush it out. Either way, I've got to do whatever I can to get that out of that pad before moving on. Just in general, I usually only give two full passes before I blow out or brush out a pad. So that's it. I mean, all this area down here, it's all chewed up from the front wheel. There's all kinds of rock chips and stuff, so I'm not necessarily expecting this to be a perfect thing, but if we get it a lot better than it was, I think we'll be okay, and that's exactly what it is. Lots of, I mean, just vast improvement on the entire surface. We check down here where all the damage is at. We got some pitting. Most of that water spotting is gone. Checking down here, I'm sure y'all can't see that down here, but this one's good. Yeah. So, I mean, I generally aim for 30 to 50% better for most one-step corrections. I'm an under-promise and over-deliver kind of guy, even though I don't tell people that I don't tell my customers that their one-step corrections are going to get anything but just get it cleaned out. and get it shined up anymore. But my own personal goal was 30 to 50% if I had to tell somebody that. Past that, anything else I deliver is beautiful. I would say we got 60 to 70% perfect. I may go over the arch here because that's taken a pretty good beating, but I'll do that with the 3-inch at some point. Maybe when I finish the rear bumper, I'll bring it back around here and just go over that really quick. But I'm not entirely worried about that section. It looks vastly better than it did. So that's it. Y'all went on a ride with me to polish the rear quarter, passenger rear quarter of a Mustang that has about 80,000 miles on it, so y'all can see just what it's like. Everybody has a different technique. Everybody has a different way to use their polishers. As long as we are all getting to the same place, it honestly doesn't matter. The paint is still there. There's no scratches, blah blah blah. If you're gonna come at me and try to say my technique was whatever, I do not give a crap. Just move on with your life, my guy. That's it. Y'all make sure you like and subscribe. Junction Auto out.